Hello friends, myself Ashwini Save, Computer Engineering Department, Viva Institute of Technology. Today we are going to see topic fuzzy sets, which comes under subject soft computing. So let's see what is fuzzy set and why fuzzy set is required. In mathematics, fuzzy sets are sets whose elements have degree of membership. Now in next slides we will see what is the meaning of membership, membership function, and how degree of membership is useful for the fuzzy set. So fuzzy set were introduced by these researchers in 1965 as an extension of the classical notation of the sets. Why fuzzy set is required? It enables to work in uncertain and ambiguous situation, or you can say it enables to with the incomplete information. Let's see how. So before starting with the fuzzy sets, let's understand the difference between crisp set and the fuzzy sets first. So what is the crisp set and what is the fuzzy set? In this particular diagram, the first diagram represents the crisp set and the second diagram represents the fuzzy set. Now what is the crisp set? So as you can see in the diagram, let's say we are having set A and we are having another universal set. Say for example, if I can say the one particular student, either he is learning in one particular class or not learning in that class. So let's say this small a and small b are two students who are learning in the class A. So they are present in the circle, and student C and student D are not learning in the class A, so they are not in the circle. So here one thing to note is there is no any student is sharing the border of the set A and the universal set. Say for example, here you can see in the diagram in the graph. So elements A, small a and b are having value 1, and elements small c and small d are having value 0. Means either you are having value 0 or 1. A definite value is there, either true or false, yes or no, 0 or 1. These kind of terms are called as crisp set. But when there is some ambiguous situation is given, some ambiguous or uncertain terms are given. Say for example, you can see in diagram number 2. In diagram number 2, there is a element C, small c, which is sharing the border of set A and the universal set X. So we can say small a and small b are in the class A. They are learning in class A. Say for example, class 2 student D is not learning in the particular class, but say for example student C is having some of the lectures in, you can say, class A. Or let's say another example, if I have asked a question whether student is good or bad, then some of the student will be absolutely good, then A and B will be inside the circle. Some student will be absolutely bad, then they will be outside the circle, and maybe some student will be sharing some qualities good and bad. They are somewhere in the middle place. So we can say this is the ambiguous situation now. Whether the student is good or bad, how to decide the good and bad. And what about the students who are having the qualities of both good and bad? So this is the ambiguous situation or incomplete information, we can say. And here the fuzzy set is required, as represented in graph, we can say. So student A and B are having absolute good qualities, so they are 1. Student D is having absolute bad quality, so he is at 0 level. And the student C is sharing good and bad qualities, sharing the border of set A and universal set X. So it is having the value as 0.5. So this is called as fuzzy set, where there is some ambiguous situation. Another example we can have is like, if we will say my laptop is very heavy, or we can say the person is running very fast. So what do you mean by heavy? What do you mean by fast? The cloth is very dirty or the cloth is very clean. What is the value of dirty? What is the value of clean? What is the value of fast? What is the value of you can say heavy? So all these are having you can say the meaning or vary the values person to person. For someone, it may be heavy, the laptop may be heavy, but for some people, it may not be heavy. According to me, it may be a clean, but according to another person, the cloth may not be a clean. So, this all information is the ambiguous information, and to give its value, it is called as fuzzification, fuzzy set. So, these all things comes under fuzzy set where the ambiguous information is given. So, taking another example, human visual system is perfectly adapted to handle uncertain information in both data and knowledge. It will be hard to define quantitatively how an object such as car has to look in terms of geometrical primitives with exact shapes, dimensions and colors. So, we use descriptive language to define features that eventually are subject to a wide range of variations. So, talking about output of crisp set and the fuzzy set. So, crisp set having output as yes or no, true or false, 0 or 1, like that. So, definite value is given as an output. As we have seen in last slide, the value can be either 0 or 1, yes or no, then that is called as crisp set or crisp output. But what is a fuzzy output? So fuzzy output can be maybe, may not be, absolutely, partially, etc. etc. Say for example, if I will ask if the person is honest or not. So someone may say yes, he is honest. Someone may say no, he is not honest. Or someone may say कि maybe he is honest, may not be, absolutely he is absolutely honest, or he is partially honest. So there is incomplete information or there is ambiguity in the information, and there the fuzzy output we can define as. Let's see definition of membership function of fuzzy set. In fuzzy sets, each element is mapped to 0, 1 by membership function. Mu of A is x stands towards 0, 1, where 0, 1 means real numbers between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. So, see the equation given here, mu of A. So, mu of A is nothing but membership function of A. Generally, membership function is denoted by the symbol mu. So, here membership function of A is mu of A is given by x. X is nothing but the element. X stands towards 0, 1. So, element x between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. So, as we have seen, there is uncertainty is given in the fuzzy. So, there is not a definite value given either 0 or 1. It will be between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. Therefore, the membership function mu of A is given by element x stands towards 0, 1. So, as seen in slide number 3, what is the fuzzy set? Items can belong to fuzzy set to different degree of membership. Second, completely within a set is a membership degree of 1, and completely outside a set is a membership degree of 0. So the element can lie at the place of 0, 1 or between 0 and 1. So it may lie outside the set, inside the set, or between the 0 and 1. That is different degree of membership. So talking about membership function, a fuzzy set has a graphical description that express how the transition from one to another takes place. This graphical description is called as membership function. Means the graphical description which tells you that how the transition from one task to another task takes place is called as the membership function. A membership function describes the degree of membership of a value in the fuzzy set. So basically membership function is used to represent the degree of membership of the value in the particular fuzzy set. Now different types of membership functions. So basically if we will see, there are two types of membership function. One is discrete membership function and second is continuous membership function. So we can divide this in three types as one, singleton membership function, second, rectangular membership function, and third, triangular membership function. So talking about singleton membership function, mu of x is equals to 1 if x is equals to c and 0 otherwise. So as I have said in last slides, mu is a symbol for membership function and x is nothing but elements. As we can see in this diagram, x-axis represents the elements and y-axis represents membership degree. If we will say x, that is element, is equals to c, maybe c equals to 1 or 3 or 5, anything. So if x is equals to c, that is 5, so for that the graph will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. That's why the line is on number 5 which is parallel to y-axis, and this is called as singleton membership. Next is rectangular membership functions. So as name suggests, it is a rectangular. So the range, if the range is given, say for example 3 to 7, so x is in between 3 to 7, so then it will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. That's why the equation is mu of x is equals to 1 if x is between L and R. Say left element and R is right element. In given diagram we can see L is equals to 3, R is equals to 7 and X is lies between 3 to 7. Hence for 3 to 7 we are having membership function as 1, otherwise it will be 0. So this is called as rectangular. After that, triangular membership function. It's a family of membership function. So constantly tends towards 0 and 1. There are three types in this family of triangular membership function. One is left shoulder, second is triangular, pure triangle which is called as, and the third one is right. We'll see diagrams. So in triangular membership function, see in this particular diagram, as I have already told, x denotes elements, y axis is having membership degree. So the left side blue line suggests the left shoulder triangular membership function. The right side, that is between 5 to 10, that right side triangle denotes the right shoulder triangle, and from 0 to 10 the actual triangle is denoting the triangular membership function. So it is the combination of the triangle and trapezoidal. So we can say from 0 to 5, which is having left shoulder, we can say the trapezoidal, and from 5 to 10 also trapezoidal, and 0 to 10 the middle triangle is a actual triangular membership. Now talking about equations, if we will see in this diagram, x-axis is having elements and y-axis is having membership function, membership degrees. So the equation may be, we can say we are having triangle as ABC. The range is between 20 to 80. Then the triangle having equation as x is given as ABC, which is equals to, if x is below A, then it will be 0. If x is above C, then it will be 0. And if x is in between A and B, then it will be having value as x minus A divided by B minus A. And if x is between B and C, then it will be having value as C minus x divided by C minus B. So these are all have values for the triangular membership. Now what about the trapezoidal membership function? So in the trapezoidal membership function, it's almost same as triangular, but is having one more additional value, we can say. See, when x is below a, it will be 0. When x is above d, then it will be 0. When x is in between a and b, then it will be having x minus a divided by b minus a. And when x is between c and d, it will be having d minus x slash d minus c, as last slide we have seen. But additional thing over here is, when x is in between b and c, which is parallel to x axis, then it will be having the value as 1, because it is having the parallel value to the x axis, and the value of degree membership function is 1. So this is the additional thing in the trapezoidal membership. Now what is the fuzzification? Let's start with the theory first. The process of determining the degree to which a value belongs in a fuzzy set. So it is nothing but finding the degree to which the value belongs in the fuzzy set. That is the value written by a fuzzy membership function. Most variable in fuzzy system have multiple membership function attached to them. Fuzzifying that variable involves passing the crisp value through each membership function attached to that value. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of the fuzzy logic for washing machine. Problem definition is given as: find the amount of the detergent required to wash the clothes based on dirtiness and weight of the clothes. Now two inputs are given, dirtiness and weights over here, and one output is asked, that is detergent. The detergent required to wash the clothes. Now in this table we can observe table number 1.1. We have taken some parameters under input and some parameters under output. Under dirtiness we have taken 5 parameters as almost clean, dirty, very dirty, soil and filthy. Under weight we have considered very light, light, medium, heavy and very heavy. Under detergent we have considered very light, light, medium, extreme and very extreme. So these all parameters we have considered under input and output. In this table 1.2, we have considered two inputs in rows and columns, and these are the output parameters in the intersection cells of rows and columns. So our two inputs are dirtiness and weights. Dirtiness we have considered in rows. All the parameters, 5 parameters we have written in rows: almost clean, dirty, very dirty, soiled, filthy. And all the 5 parameters under weight we have written as very light, light, medium, high and very heavy. Heavy and very heavy. So as we are having 5 rows and 5 columns, so total 25 cells are present over here. We have to put output parameters, our 5 output parameters. 5 output parameters of the detergents are very low, low, medium, extreme and very extreme. All these 5 parameters we have to put in this 25 cells. So logically we can put, say for example, first input row and first input column is AC, that is almost clean and very low. So for almost clean clothes and very low amount of the weight, we will require detergent very low. So logically we have written very low. Say for example in last cell, that is last row and last column, filthy clothes and very heavy weight, we will require very extreme amount of the detergent. Hence we have written VE, that is very extreme. Likewise we have to fill all the 25 cells logically. As we can see in red color, for the D and M we have logically written when the dirty clothes and medium amount of the weight will be there, so medium amount of the detergent be required. So likewise we have to draw this table number 1. Now taking an example with some numbers, dirtiness is given as 40 and weight is given as 60. So how much detergent it will require? Now our first job is to draw the membership function graph. Now first of all we will draw the membership function graph for all these three, that is for dirtiness, for weight and for detergent too. Two inputs and one output. So let's draw the first graph for the first input, that is dirtiness. So membership function for the dirtiness, we are having, as we can see in diagram, on x-axis we are having elements from the 0 to 100. We can take any numbers, and on y-axis we have taken 0 to 1, that is membership function. Membership function on y-axis will be always 0 to 1. On x-axis elements we can vary, but y-axis we cannot, because it is always between 0 to 1, including 0 and 1. Now for dirtiness, as we have seen in table number 1.1, we are having 5 parameters under dirtiness: almost clean, dirty, very dirty, soiled and filthy. So taking the combination of triangular and trapezoidal membership functions, we have drawn this diagram for the dirtiness. After that, membership function for the weight we have drawn. So for this weight, again on x-axis we can take any number of elements, on y-axis we have to take 0 to 1, and we can take we are having 5 parameters of weights, that is very light, medium, high and very high. So we have drawn this triangular and trapezoidal membership function over here. Now here some questions will be raised. One, whether to take triangular, trapezoidal or rectangular, or which kind of membership functions we have to take. So see, as we are dealing with the ranges, so we cannot take the discrete membership function over here. We cannot consider the singleton membership function, but we can consider any continuous membership function. That can be a triangular, trapezoidal, or you can take rectangular also. So that we can take. Next question can be raised as whether overlapping is allowed. Yes, because we are dealing with the fuzzy logic, and as I have shown in first slide itself, when the one particular element is sharing some boundary of sets and it is having some ambiguous information, then fuzzy logic comes in picture. Hence overlapping, yes, it is allowed. Next question may be raised, how to take these ranges, that is as we have taken for almost clean we have taken 0 to 20, dirty we have taken 10 to 15, very dirty we have taken 30 to 80 and so on. So the answer is we can take all these ranges logically. We can consider anything and we can draw this diagram, because ultimately we are going to find out the amount required which is having the fuzzy term, and we have to find out the crisp value for whatever fuzzy term we are getting. So that is the aim and that is the purpose. So we can take any ranges and draw this diagram or the graphs. Now our next job will be to draw the diagram or to draw the graph for the membership function for the output, which is detergent. So in next slide we will draw the graph for the detergent. In this particular diagram or the graph, this is the membership function for the output. Our output is detergent. So our x-axis will be having 0 to 100, y-axis will be having 0 to 1. Then parameters under detergents are very low, low, medium, extreme and very extreme. Now we can observe some dotted line over here. These are 3 dotted lines we have drawn. This is the output lines. We will calculate some output, and while calculating output we have drawn these dotted lines. Significance of this dotted line and how to draw this dotted line I will tell you in next slides. Only thing to remember or only thing to observe at this moment is we have drawn this one particular line parallel to x-axis which intersects on the 0.7 value of the membership function. So on the membership function from the 0 to 1 we have 0.75 value, for which we have parallelly drawn one particular line which is parallel to x-axis. Next two lines are intersecting this 0.75 dotted line to the medium parameter on the two lines. So in the sense where the 0.75 dotted line is intersecting to the medium parameter m parameter on this particular diagram on two particular points, that 2 points we have taken and we have drawn the drawn the line parallel to y-axis which will fall on the x-axis. And if we will observe carefully, this m parameter which intersects with the 0.75 on these 2 points will fall on 2 points on the x-axis, maybe 48 and 58. Let's say it is intersecting, it is falling on the 48 and 58. Now let's see what is the significance of this dotted line and how to draw this dotted line and how to calculate the output. Now in this slide, this particular diagram or this particular graph is of detergent, which we have seen in the last slide itself. So I have drawn this again in this particular slide because it's a reference for the output. These dotted lines are important, so I have drawn it again. So our question is, in green color I have specified dirtiness is given as 40, weight is given as 60 and asked for the amount of the detergent. Now dirtiness is asked for the 40, so we have to go back to the graph of the dirtiness and we have to check for the element 40. So this element 40 is lying on two parameters of dirtiness. If we will observe clearly, the dirtiness 40 is lying on the D, that is dirty, and VD, that is very dirty. Now we have to check for the membership function value also. So membership function value for the D where 40 is intersecting is 0.75 and membership function of the VD where the 40 is intersecting is 0.4. Hence, as we have seen in this particular slide, the left hand side first equation I have given as mu, please consider it as a mu, which is membership function. So mu D of 40 is equals to 0.75 and mu VD of 40 is equals to 0.4. So for dirtiness we have got two values, 0.75 and 0.4, which is lying on D and VD. Same way for the weight we have to consider the graph of the weight and find out where the 60 is intersecting. So if we will see carefully, the weight 60 is intersecting to the two parameters of the weight, that is medium and high. On the medium it is directly intersecting to the 1 and on the high it is intersecting to the 0.3 membership function. So again for the weight we have got two values, that is mu m of 60 is equals to 1 and mu h of 60 is equals to 0.3. Now for dirtiness we are having two values, for weight we are having two values. Now we have to find the intersection of this, because amount of the detergent we have to find out one particular value. So here we have got four values. We taking the combination of each, we will see how the pair is giving the values. So let's consider first pair or first combination as D of 40 with M of 60. Now when we do intersection, then that time we have to consider the minimum value. So here from 0.75 and 1 we have to consider 0.75, and again while likewise next from D of 40 and H of 60, that is 0.75 and 0.3, the lesser value minimum value is 0.3. VD of 40 and M of 60, the lesser value is 0.4, and VD of 40 and H of 60, the lesser value is 0.3. Likewise in the combination we have got four values, 0.75, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.3. Now out of these four values we have to consider the maximum value, which is I have shown in the red color. Out of 0.75, 0.3, 0.3 and 0.4 which we have got in the equations, out of which we have to find out the maximum value, that is 0.75. So our first equation, mu d of 40 intersection of mu m of 60 is equals to 0.75. Now in this next slide, the diagram is same, output diagram for reference. Now in this particular slide, we have seen, as we have got the equation as mu d of 40 intersection of mu m of 60 is equals to 0.75, which is the maximum value as written in the first line. So let's go back to the table number 1.2 and find out the intersection of d and m, because in this particular equation we have got two parameters. The parameter for dirtiness we have got is d, that is dirty, and the parameter for the weight we have got is m, that is medium. So let's see in the table number 1.2 where this d and m is intersecting. If we will consider, if we will observe this table number 1.2, the intersection of d and m is equals to m, as I have highlighted in the red color in the table number 1.2. So this m we have to consider, that is the red color m is nothing but the output parameter. Now in this particular slide, this diagram is of output parameter only, output detergent only. So out of this detergent, this detergent is having 5 parameters: very low, low, medium, extreme and very extreme. So we have got m to consider. So we have to consider m parameter only out of all these 5 parameters. So considering this m parameter, and again in red color as I have shown in the text, 0.75 is the value of the membership function. So in the membership function y-axis I will write 0.75, I will mark the 0.75, and in the parameters medium we have considered, drawing the dotted line 0.75 membership function parallel to the x-axis, we will draw this dotted line. And now we have to observe where this medium parameter is intersecting to the 0.75 membership function. So we can observe that this medium parameter is intersecting to the 0.75 on two particular points. So considering, highlight that two particular points, and these two particular points you have to take at the down. So we can draw the downfall line from the m to the x-axis. So drawing these two lines, we have got two particular points or two particular values on the x-axis, say for example 48 and 58. Now as we have to consider the parameter of the detergent as m, that is medium amount of the detergent will require, but what will be the value for the medium, that we have to check from the diagram. So we have got two values, 48 and 58. Now considering the average of both 48 and 58, the average is 53 kg. Hence therefore the amount of the detergent required is 53 kg. Hence when, as per our question given, when the dirtiness is 40 and weight is 60 given, then how much detergent it will require? So it will require 53 kg amount of detergent. So we have seen what is fuzzy logic, what is fuzzy set, what is fuzzification. One particular, you can say, example we have seen. Now talking about the applications, there are so many applications of the fuzzy logic. We can use these in business, in finance, in aerospace, automotive, etc., etc. We can use this in many organizations and many applications. These are some theory questions I have enlisted regarding the fuzzy logic and fuzzy set. You can go through this. So thank you so much guys. I hope you have understood what we have learned today. Thank you so much.